What's up, you guys? Welcome back into iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast, the Battleground Podcast. It is Battle from iHeartRadio. And let me tell you, man, I feel as if this podcast is an AEW takeover with everybody that stopped by. We're talking about all the events coming up with AEW. You've got it in Philadelphia, Manchester, Bridgeport, Albany, Reading. I mean, they're all over the place, and you can grab tickets allelitewrestling.com or AEW Tix. That's TIX.com. And today we have a friend of the show back. It's been a minute since we talked to him. Mr. Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy joins us. Orange, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. You might see Dr. Edgar Allan Poe, Esquire, pop up every now and then. Sorry, he's 4 months old and I can't do anything about it. So.
Hey, you know what? It's okay. You've got a cat and I've got a 7-year-old that's excited that you're here on the show, so he might pop in as well. So we're just going to expect the unexpected on this show. And speaking of my 7-year-old, he always likes to make sure that I have something for any time we have a guest on the show, especially if he has it. So he said, please make sure you show Orange my action figure that he's got.
Oh, very nice.
So
it looks played with, which I like. I like that.
Because I asked him when he handed it to me, I was like, what's wrong with his jacket? And he was like, he got into a pretty bad fight. So,
hey, same. That action figure and me are the same.
Absolutely, for sure. And of course, let's just kind of talk about it. I mean, you know, we're seeing all the things play out on, AEW Dynamite. We're seeing things online, and there's a lot of rumblings online about you having this, John Cena level of aura, and many see you as the babyface of AEW. Do you view those opinions as a praise or more as kind of pressure?
I want to know where you heard these things, because certainly on my internet, I didn't read that. I don't know. It's obviously John Cena is one of the best to ever do it, right? So you got to take it as a compliment. I purposely make the professional wrestling I make because I want to be different. I don't want anybody to say that I am like someone else, or I know we're just talking about aura, but I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. I don't agree with it. How about that? How about that?
Here we go.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I completely understand it. But it's awesome to see, like, the fans, especially of all ages, gravitate towards Orange Cassidy. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we've been to an AEW show and there's adults and kids alike cosplaying as Orange Cassidy. Like I said, my 7-year-old, big fan of yours. Now, what in your mind when you see a kid cosplaying as you, an adult cosplaying as you, and all these fans like gravitating towards you, what is that? What goes through your mind? Like, how does that make you feel?
A little relieved that this thing that I'm resonating with people on all age levels, and I think that's hard. I think for someone in professional wrestling to kind of get the gaps of age. You got some older people, but I feel very relieved that what I'm doing is working, because obviously it's nothing. Yeah, it's never been done before. So I don't have anything to go off of in the sense of, well, they did it like this back in 1998. I'll be like, well, I can't do that. I wasn't like anything before. So I really gauge on what's working by the reaction and the fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to see, because anytime, like, again, either watching it on TV or being at an AEW show, as soon as your music hits, like, the entire arena just erupts.
And they have to know which song it is. They have to know 2 songs.
Right.
Which is confusing sometimes.
And, here's what I do, because on my radio show, I play Jane a lot. And, like, I have listeners that call in, and it's not that, oh, there's Jane. I'll have listeners that call in and be like, hey, can you play Orange Cassidy's theme song? Which,
amazing.
It's pretty awesome for you, I would have to say. Speaking of awesome, this past Wednesday night on Dynamite, we saw you cut an impassioned promo, and of course, everybody in the IWC, the internet wrestling community, could not stop talking about it. What does it mean as a performer to be able to slip into darker and more mature themes while also, keeping it wholly the whole Orange Cassidy product?
I feel very very fortunate that I'm allowed to. I think if it, if I weren't in AEW, you wouldn't be allowed to see me evolve and be able to do something like this. Um, because I am a different wrestler than I was 5 years ago. I look pretty much the same, but that style that you may have been that you may enjoyed 5 years ago isn't really happening right now. And I think AEW gives professional wrestlers like me the opportunity to evolve in not just like, and I'm not talking about evolution where you like leave for 3 months, come back with a new haircut, and people are like, "Whoa, look at this evolution!" Like, right in front of your eyes, and you get to see why, you get to see how, um, and that's just a deeper level of art that we are trying to do, and uh, I also get very stressed out for those moments because exactly what I just said was when I have to do something like that that is not typically what I do. There is an immense amount of pressure for me to hit a home run because I only get so many, and I need to make those count.
Mhm.
And I I I was really also great. I'm speaking just for this past Wednesday. Those fans were Cleveland came out, and that place was packed, and they were loud, and they had it was a ton of support there in Cleveland. So um, yeah, I feel very fortunate that I can do that, and that I can try different things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about hitting a home run. And I got to tell you, man, watching that play out this past Wednesday on Dynamite, I wouldn't say that was a home run. I think that would be a grand slam more than anything, because just
Wow.
sitting there watching that promo, watching the passion, I'm just like, that right there is a guy that you could hang the championship on and make the face of that company.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you saying that. I would call it a hustled, I really hustled double. I really got the second just in time.
Hey, you know what? I got to tell you, man, it's great to see things happening for you. I mean, we've watched from back in the indie days to where you are now, and it's great to see the recognition. And I'm giving you your flowers now instead of waiting till down the road. So, huge congrats to everything with you.
It's also I've had people that have been watching me for a very very long time, and a long time fans. So when you talk about the indies, that's what we're talking about, like beyond wrestling. We're going back up to New England next week, and beyond wrestling is out there in New England, and those fans, they saw Orange Cassidy as an infant, and and to see where I have gone now, like somebody was like, I stopped watching wrestling back in 2018 or 17. I saw you, and then I saw you. I was like, what happened to you? And I was like, a lot happened to me. But no, it's really awesome that those fans get to see that progression as well.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And you talk about fans going back from where you were before to now. And it's like, I was scrolling through social media as we were getting prepared for this, and a video popped up on Halloween. It was saying 5 years ago today on Halloween, Orange Cassidy wrestled Priscilla
Nope.
Kelly. And you
The
and you
doctor
spun
was
the
upset.
tire.
Yeah, the doctor was not happy with that. Okay, sorry.
But yeah, I mean, you go and look at that, and you see how fun you had there, and then now you see the serious side. So that's kind of a cool thing, because it's all over social media right now. Just highlights from that match of her dressed as you, and then you wearing her attire as
Is
well.
that is very funny that the promo I was able to do at the top of the show on Dynamite, and then showing that clip pretty much sums up everything.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, we've talked about it. AEW is all over the place. Manchester, Providence, Bridgeport, Albany. Again, AEWTix.com, AEWTIX.com is where you could go to buy your tickets for any of those shows. And, we're right around the corner from this year's edition of the critically acclaimed C2, the Continental Classic tournament after its debut in 2023. And it was a hard-hitting and literally life-changing tournament for the participants. Now, do you see yourself throwing your name in the hat for this year's edition?
That is a tournament that will have to live up to what happened last year. It was one of the greatest wrestling tournaments that I think I've seen, and the talent that was in there was, those matches were incredible. I definitely would like to be a part of that. I would definitely like to try and see if I could go undefeated. Even, but no, I definitely would love to be a part of that tournament, and I'm just nervous about who's going to be in it because hey, the roster got even better. I don't know how it happened, but the roster got even better after last year. So
yeah, and it's a testament to showing what AEW is putting out there every week. That that's where people want to come. That's where they want to wrestle. You can tell that when people are on TV, when they're on the ring, they're very passionate about what they're putting out there in front of fans and, of course, the universe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And, we've kind of seen this hostile, takeover storyline several times over before in pro wrestling. But why does Mox in this version of BCC in this angle feel so much more real and violent?
I mean, I think it's because of what you just said, because it's real and it's violent. Like we are talking about. I tried to explain this Wednesday to a lot of the fans who aren't familiar with different types of things like that. But John Moxley's dangerous. Like they are ending careers. Like it's not like, oh, this person's going to be on the shuffle. Like they're ending careers. They will end your career, and I don't know what he will do next and what they will do next. And I take a lot of pride in being the person that no one knows what I do. Like when I go into a wrestling match, I like to maybe do the opposite. Maybe just like that's the games I play to get the advantage. John Moxley is the only other person that I've ever wrestled with or ever been in the ring with that has the same mentality. And after wrestling him twice, I thought I had a pretty good grasp on it. But now I don't know what he's going to do or what will happen next or when he'll show up too. And that is the thing I think about a lot when other things like other angles, people are like, oh, we're coming, we're taking it over. Like he's not just talking about it. He's acting upon it. And that's dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, like you said, you never know when he's going to show up, where he's going to show up, who he's going to take out. I mean, as we watched on this past Wednesday night, we saw him take Brandon Cutler out as soon as the Young Bucks drove off. So it's definitely one of those things that you're going to have to watch AEW, Dynamite, and Rampage and Collision because you never know when you're going to see them. But
absolutely,
I will say we'll put this out in the universe that we know that the person that's going to take down the BCC is a guy by the name of Orange Cassidy.
I mean,
if anybody can do it, it's got to be the OC.
Yeah, the days of me trying are over. I think I have to at this point.
Absolutely, and we're all of us fans, we're behind your back, whether we're yelling it in the arenas or yelling it from TV. You'll feel our aura come towards you.
And believe me, I need it.
It's going to be a tough one for sure. And, again, we've talked about it. AEW is all over the place in the next several days. You've got Manchester, Philadelphia, Providence, Bridgeport, Albany. Again, AEW Tix, that's TIX.com is where you can go buy your tickets. Now, as we're kind of gearing up towards the end of the year, it's crazy that we're already here in November. AEW continues to grow and push the industry forward. What are you looking forward to as we approach 2025?
I mean, nothing really, right? I mean, no. Hopefully, I am. Hopefully, I have my backpack is very full, and I would be able to hopefully carry the symbol that is the AEW World Championship around, and and try to do the exact same thing I did before with the International Championship, and just keep those ideas and keep professional wrestling moving forward.
Absolutely, for sure. Speaking of, moving forward with professional wrestling, people talk a lot about kayfabe and how it's kind of evolved over the years. And do you think the wrestling space has more room for offbeat comedic characters, things that aren't the average normal mold of wrestlers? Or do you see it as kind of a one of a kind thing in the industry?
Just what, like over the top characters in general.
Yeah.
Um, just like everything in life, just like all of us, we all go through phases, and I think sometimes something's hot and sometimes it's cold, and I think uh, you get to a certain point where there can only be so many tough guys wearing black trunks, and I think um, there's always going to be room for something different, as long as we as a wrestling community give it a chance. So yeah, I think now more than ever too, especially I think with the internet and all this, it's good. It's a good. I always. I mean, I am biased. Obviously, I always feel it's necessary, but um, yeah, I feel like we're at the time now.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, of course, with the internet, I mean, there's really there's hardly any kayfabe anymore because with social media, it's all out the window. Real quick before I let you go, I have one question, and usually we kind of do something fun at the end of our show, whether it's like we have Chat GPT ask a question or whatnot. But since my 7-year-old Liam is a big fan of yours, he asked if he could ask a question. Now he's shy. He's sitting over here in the corner. He doesn't want to come on camera, but he wants to know because one of his favorite things other than watching wrestling is watching a little show on Netflix called The Floor is Lava.
Yeah.
And there's one episode in particular that he constantly is watching, and that is with you on there. And he wants to know, when you fell in the lava, what was under the lava and how were you able to get out?
Well, the lava. I don't. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. Well, there is a mat under the lava, so that when you go into the lava, you are not going very far down. And I got out. There were two men with, you see, like a dog catcher, like a big pole with a rope on it, pulled me out, and then they squeegeed me off in a little kiddie pool, like where you had like a squeegee, like a car wash, like just squeeze you right off.
Interesting.
And
Very interesting.
it was the consistency of it was, if I stood on the lava that got on the obstacles, if I stood on it for more than 10 seconds, my foot would stick. However, if I would put my foot down directly, I would slide. So I can't explain it.
Interesting.
It's modern. It's alien lava. I don't know what it is.
Interesting. By the way, how was it being on that show? It looks like it's a lot of fun.
It was. We were, especially I got to do with my friends, and it was, but it happened very fast in the sense of, we got there, we waited like 6 hours, and then they're like, "Okay, guys, we're up." Boom, we go. And yeah, they said I had to go fast, but they don't know me.
No, obviously they did not. Well, Orange Cassidy, let me tell you, man, it is an honor to have you back out here on the show. And before we let you go, is there anything you want to say or say to anybody that's watching or listening to this right now?
No. Have fun. See you later. I'll see you soon.